And that's really why, like, I'm so passionate about, this topic of metabolic flexibility, is because it is really finding that balance, and also, realizing that there might be some times where you do have to use a stricter approach as a tool, but it's not that you have to stay there for forever, right? You can implement keto and use it strategically, and, train your body, how to utilize ketones, but it doesn't mean that you need to be in a strict ketogenic state for the rest of your life to benefit from it, right? And so I found that there can actually be some kind of detriments to that, and that's where I ended up. That's where a lot of the clients that I work with, they've gone so down the other side of the spectrum, and they've actually become metabolically inflexible on that side of things, right? So their bodies, they've been keto for so long, they haven't been consuming any carbs, they maybe have started to develop some carb phobia, so like the mental, psychological side of things are getting a little wonky up there. But then, like, the physiological side of things, we know that with our bodies are very smart, and they want to adapt, right? They will adapt to whatever you're giving it. And so if you are not giving it carbs for a long period of time, then it's going to regulate some of the mechanisms that are used to, metabolize those carbs and use them for energy, and the digestive enzymes and all of that are going to start to downregulate, because your body's like, hey, I don't need to use these, so why am I going to keep producing these enzymes, right? So there's another side of it where you can become metabolically inflexible by just being super keto, low carb for an extended period of time, and actually put your body in a place where it's not going to be very optimal in the things that you're trying to do. And so those are a lot of the population that I work with, a lot of women who have gone keto and saw great results, and then they get to this point where it's like they're like, oh, like, I don't know where to go from here, because I tried to implement some carbs, but then I just quote unquote blew up, like I gained 5 pounds overnight. We know that's obviously lots of water weight and all that stuff, but there's an education component of this, and that's really why I created my Keto for Women program. It's really for women who have struggled with that, just not from the physiological side of things, but also the psychological side of reincorporating carbs. And like, I've been through it myself. I've worked with a lot of women, and it can be very, very hard on that side of things if you've kind of gone down that rabbit hole for a long enough period of time. Use it or lose it, right? So with some of the digestive enzymes that your body produces, if you're not, giving it the raw materials to tell it to produce those enzymes and use them, then they're kind of just go a little bit dormant, right? And it's not that you lose them. It's not like you lose those processes. It's just that they become, like you said, a little bit dormant. And so you just kind of have to ramp them up a little bit. And so one of the easiest ways to do that is to actually start to incorporate carbs, but do it in a way that is strategic, right? And so that doesn't cause you to think that you gained 5 pounds overnight, right? If you wake up and the scale's a little bit higher, right? That's one of the things that a lot of women struggle with. Even if we know that you're not gaining 5 pounds overnight, because if you go to consume a bunch of carbs that you haven't in a while, we know carbs hold on to water, so that's just going to be a little bit more water weight, a little bit more bloat. Maybe your body's just not used to digesting them. So there's ways that we can do it strategically so that it works with you, right, rather than against you. So maybe incorporating some carbs pre and post workout would probably be the first place to start, so that you can utilize those carbohydrates as you go into your workout, and then you can utilize them post workout for that recovery aspect. Some other ways would just be, doing it in a way that is strategic for you. It's just a lot of women do go down that fasting rabbit hole. So kind of taking a dial back on the fasting. So if you've been fasting for extended periods of time, dialing that back a little bit, and really putting your body more into an abundant state versus a restrictive state, right?